Hey guys, okay, pulled it all up. Thought I'd wing another one here. Got a lot of stuff to cover today. First off, we got solar wind speed at 963 kilometers per second, and that's being recorded by these GOES 13 and 14 satellites in this geosynchronous orbit around the Earth. I think the GOES 15's up there as well. There's a representation, and there's, of course, a whole bunch of other satellites up there. So that's a perfect place to park satellites and let them go round and round without much effort. You can see all the freaking energy coming in from the backside from Nemesis, trying to invade the planet. These are the Fock radiation belts. There you can see the geosynchronous orbit dotted line represented there. Here's the bow shock that we're looking at here. This is at 100,000 electron volts, and this is at 4 million electron volts. Basically, I punched these two up because the 100,000 electron volts is when atoms start to become ionized. In other words, start to break apart and ionization starts to occur, which becomes radiation, which is radiation in effect. And then when you get up into the 4 MeV, which is the highest one we have, are able to look at, they don't have any ones higher than this. We're talking gamma radiation here, which only comes from presence of a nearby star or star system. I did the research on it. You can look back through my videos. And whenever you see purple skies, that's basically nitrogen in our atmosphere being ionized. So, but pretty much our atmosphere protects us, and this stuff does not reach the planet from what I've been able to discover. Now these two are synced, so I'll let them just keep playing through. You can see the false bow shock in the back, how it breaks up sometimes. It's represented by this line. Now, of course, I think this is actually registering above 4 million electron volts oftentimes when it gets up into the blacks and purples. And even when it goes completely whited out, I think it just doesn't have the capability to register any radiation that high, so it just whites out. And you can see it all creeping in here too at the lower energy levels around our planet. And there it is represented there. Now this has to be Nemesis solar wind speed. It's coming from the back side because it's within the magnetosphere. It's not out here at the ACE satellite, which is 930,000 miles in front of the Earth at Lagrange point 1 out here. And this is where the Discover satellite is as well. They're both put out there to give us an early warning and to monitor all the solar wind aspects coming from the sun. So theoretically get about an hour's warning, 15 minutes to an hour warning, so they can maybe power down some of the satellites or whatnot, so they don't get affected when we get a blast of bad stuff coming from the sun, bad solar wind, which might damage satellites. That's why they're up there. Now this is a great tutorial. I got it in my description box. It's from solarham.com. It's got a great website. You might want to check it out. And this is the phi angle. This is the key to everything. The phi angle. That's the blue thing that we see here represented on ACE. You can get it from 0 to 360. So 0, when it's at 0, that means it's an Earth to the Sun interplanetary magnetic field connection. When it's at 180, that represents a Sun to the Earth interplanetary magnetic field connection, because we live in an electric universe. And as you can see here, This blue stuff is all plasma. Now check my comments below the video. You have to punch up newest first in order to punch newest first to see all my comments, because YouTube's does their best to censor me. I don't even know why I'm still up, because my channel actually went down for like almost 2.5 years, from September 2015 to January 2018. Here's the description box. Here's where I have the solar ham tutorial that I was just showing you, and the Lagrange point. Now what I mean by clicking newest comments first, do that and you're going to get this stuff here, and this tells you all about what's going on. Gives you the physics behind, and then hit the replies, because I got to hide stuff under replies a lot of times. Hit all the replies. There's my hypothesis number 1 about the big planet. And if you hit the reply, you get hypothesis number 2, which is about the high solar wind speed, which we're going to get into here. So this is the physics behind why a planet can get close, because gravity is, or it's up here, gravity's 10 to the minus 40th power less than electromagnetism. That's what's governing the universe and our celestial mechanics. And then plasma. If you want to get into plasma, dark matter and dark energy, black holes, they cannot exist. This is a nice simple video. It's close to an hour long, but it's well worth watching, because it's going to open your eyes up about the primer fields. And this guy just does some simple laboratory experiments, and he got some patents on this stuff, but I'm sure it'll never come into fruition, even if we were going to be around for a number of more years, because, well, we all know what happened to Tesla and all his inventions. And this is a great commercial. You got to watch that. Shows you what it's going to look like when the cloaking fails and the sun simulator is up around 700, 800 kilometers in a heliosynchronous orbit above the Earth. Those links are all there. All right. Now here's the hypotheses. This is about the big planet. You got to read that. And this is the one about high solar wind speed. And pretty much borne all these out. If you've been watching my videos, stuff's all been happening, and it's all pretty much been proven. I don't know any other way to explain it. So there's the high solar wind speed from Nemesis. It's being recorded inside our magnetopods by these GOES satellite instruments. You can see went to 912. So I'll just pull it through. Whenever you see these chevrons, you know something's about to happen. So we'll click it through real quick. And that's the highest it went to. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to pull it. So you see the plasma is building up, so they're fixing to make a discharge. That's when the solar, some doesn't always go up, but it went up this time, and we were able to see it because they didn't delete the time. Then you see these waves of density and velocity coming through in front. Those are being slung at us by the magnetopods from the magnetosphere, from the big planet or planets that are out in front of the Earth, which I documented. Came past the 8th satellite at the L1 Lagrange point around October 16th. I mean, we got a lot of stuff out there in front of the planet. There's no question about it. Here's the latest MLSO run. You can see here we're getting almost a 2-minute time lapse. We're only getting about 20 images. Well, 27 I think it said. I'll let it play through. Here's the big objects I'm talking about. There's one that I haven't seen before. It's appearing pretty close. And of course they sanitized it. I looked at it last night. I was thinking of making a video, but then my computer froze on me. Imagine that. After I had everything pulled up and I was ready to go, and I couldn't pull up the video making software. So anyway, they peel back layers off this is what I'm thinking, because usually you see a lot of objects zipping around in here, and I think they're the part of the debris field from the Nemesis system. I think these objects here are they have concentric circles. I think they got to be planets or something with maybe a magnetic field. That's just my guess. I can't say for sure, but obviously, as I've showed you many times, we have something in front of the planet, and you can see all these field lines stacking up. That's from the big planet that passed ACE. And you see the little feelers trying to come out here. Passed ACE on October 16th, and it's been headed this way ever since. Looks like the magnetosphere got a little stronger there for a minute, but I still think it's weakening, to be honest. And if we pull this through, well, there's a nice discharge. We got the polar cap field lines all closing up. They turn red when they close, garner energy from the Earth in order to make the discharge. That's at 12/28/2016. So there it is there. That's right around our time when we get the high solar wind speed, Nemesis solar wind speed at 963. When we get a couple of missing time spots in here, 23, there's one there, 2329, and it jumps to 2356. I mean, look at that. That's sick looking. The magnetosphere looks sick to me. And then we have another one that starts at 347, and it jumps to 419. And usually whenever you see a missing time, it's followed by a big plasma discharge, and there you can see it there. So what I've been focusing on, if you've been watching some of my vids, is these blue IMF field lines that are creeping in from the backside. They're coming from Nemesis. They're trying to make it to the planet. Earth's fighting it off. I've seen them come below the 20 Earth radii. Earth radii is 4,000 miles roughly, so this is about 80,000 miles behind the planet. You can see they're creeping in beyond that. So we'll pull this through real quick so you can see all the drama. And then pull up geospace real quick. This is the last like 3-4 hours on geospace. We still got a whole bunch of pressure front and back side of the Earth. So we're definitely still in this squeeze play mode. There's density. Darker colors means higher density. And this is the velocity. So you can still see the velocity still pretty well up. This is Discover out at the L1 Lagrange point. The last 24 hours, we got like a 2-hour gap here. That's a data gap, so there's something in between, another smaller planet or object in between Discover and the Earth affecting the data relay. That's from 2200 to almost 00. I don't have time to show you and pull that up, but that's what's happening there. Basically, we've all been running around a sun to the Earth connection, and the solar wind speed, you can see that's dropping down around 500. So there's no way that 963 is coming from there. This is the last 7 days on ACE. Here's the phi angle connection. You can see the last couple of days on the 28th. It's all been running pretty much sun to Earth, and I think what's happening is we're getting a connection from the sun to the big planet to the Earth to Nemesis. And that's what's dragging all this stuff together. So I'm running out of time. I'll pull this back through for you one more time. God bless, peace, and